Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into the absolute chaos that can be the construction industry. We're going to explore how a single digital thread can connect every part of a project, from the first blueprint to the final payment, and more importantly, how it can eliminate those hidden costs that are silently killing profits.
Okay, so to really get this, we first have to understand the core problem that's been plaguing traditional construction management for, well, forever. And it's not just about the rising cost of steel or lumber. There's something much more subtle going on.
You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head. So many construction firms are paying this silent tax every single day, and they don't even realize it. Now, this isn't some official government fee. It's the hidden cost of doing things the old way. All those countless hours and resources just lost in spreadsheets and messy email chains that slowly bleed a project dry. And these manual processes, they create what you could call silent profit killers. I mean, just think about it. You've got the approval bottleneck, right? Where an entire project grinds to a halt waiting for a signature on a piece of paper. Or the double order trap, where because no one really knows what's going on, you end up buying the same materials twice. Throw in compliance risks and those endless billing disputes. It all stems from a total lack of real-time visibility. You're basically flying blind.
Okay, so how do we fight back? How do we stop paying this silent tax? Well, it all starts with the project's most foundational document.
And that document is the Bill of Quantities, or BOQ for short. Honestly, the best way to think of it is as the project's DNA. It meticulously lists every single thing you're going to need, from tons of concrete all the way down to boxes of screws, and it becomes the single source of truth for the entire project.
And getting that BOQ right? Well, it's the absolute cornerstone of a successful project. No exaggeration. It means your cost estimates are accurate from day one. It creates a level playing field when contractors are bidding, because everyone is pricing the exact same work. And maybe most importantly, it helps avoid those costly arguments and changes that come from simple misunderstandings.
So you've got this perfect blueprint, but how do you bring it to life? That's where a modern ERP system, that's Enterprise Resource Planning, comes into the picture. It takes that static document and turns it into a living, breathing, interconnected digital workflow.
You see, instead of having all these stages as like separate islands of information that don't talk to each other, an ERP creates this one single digital thread connecting everything. It starts with that digital BOQ in the pre-construction module and flows seamlessly into procurement, what's happening on site every day, billing, and finally, cost monitoring. Each stage is constantly talking to the next in real time. And this is the really crucial part. It creates a single unified system. A material request that gets punched into a tablet on the job site instantly links up with the supply chain module. A subcontractor's daily progress report, the DPR, that's captured in the site management module automatically updates the project timeline and feeds directly into the project financials module for billing. See? Nothing exists in a silo. All right, now this is where it gets really interesting. Let's talk about how all this connected data helps solve one of the biggest headaches in construction, the flow of money. This is where automation is a total game changer. I mean, this just shows the difference so clearly, right? On the left, you've got manual billing, total chaos, a mess of paper, spreadsheets. It's just begging for errors and arguments. And on the right, the automated future, where the system pays people accurately and on time because every single claim is based on digitally verified progress. So an ERP comes in and tackles these financial pain points head on. No more endless billing disputes. Instead, you get bills based on exact digital measurements. Forget about approval delays. Now you have quick digital workflows. And instead of worrying about going over budget, you've got real-time dashboards comparing your budget to your actual spending. You can see a problem coming and stop it. Now, the official way contractors get paid during a project is through something called an interim payment certificate, or an IPC. For any contractor, these IPCs are literally the lifeblood of their business. It's what keeps the cash flowing so they can pay their people and buy materials. So, by automating how these IPCs are generated, the system just gets rid of all that friction. The financials module takes a subcontractor's claim and instantly checks it against the original BOQ, the approved work order from the supply chain module, and the daily progress reports from the site management module. It all connects. Payments are based on verified data, which, as you can imagine, slashes disputes and makes the whole payment cycle way faster. But here's the thing, it's not just about money and spreadsheets and some back office. This digital thread, it stretches out to every single corner of the actual physical job site, connecting all the moving parts into one big ecosystem. You see, a modern construction ERP isn't just a single piece of software. It's a whole ecosystem. It weaves together the project financials we've been talking about with the supply chain, with what's happening on site every day, and even with tracking every piece of heavy machinery through its own asset and fleet ops module.
Let's take that asset and fleet module, for example. It's not just tracking where a bulldozer is. No, it's way smarter. It's monitoring its fuel consumption, how long it's just sitting there idle versus actually working, and it automatically schedules its own preventative maintenance. This helps you control one of the biggest, most unpredictable costs on any project.
So what does this all mean in the real world? What does it actually look like for businesses that make the switch to this new digital standard?
Well, the results really do speak for themselves. We're talking about companies seeing major cost reductions because all that waste just disappears. They gain up to 50% more visibility into their projects, which means fewer nasty surprises. And, as we've seen, faster, more accurate payment cycles just keep everything running smoothly.
And this isn't just theory on a slide. Take a look at George Stewart Engineering over in Sri Lanka. This is a company that's been around since 1835, and even they are jumping on this technology, partnering up with ConsEase ERP to totally revolutionize their operations for the 21st century.
And they're using the ConsEase platform to do exactly what we've been talking about. They now have that complete end-to-end project management, the real-time monitoring, the automated procurement and payments, the whole shebang. For them, it's about driving real, measurable efficiency into every corner of their business.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. Embracing a digital workflow like this isn't just about getting new software. It's about making a fundamental shift so you can finally stop paying that silent tax and start reclaiming the profit that's been quietly leaking out of your projects for years. The real question is, how much are you overpaying?